Hey, so logged in today after my power went out and my entire UI was reset. So it's a good opportunity for me to show you how I set up my UI. So first, I like having my escape menu on the right-hand side, that's personal preference. We're going to jump right into editing the UI and disabling all the stuff that's not really necessary. Some players will obviously want things like the dice game in the bottom right, or like the season stuff in the top right, or the mini map. But I don't like any of this stuff, so I just turn it all off. The quest stuff is very helpful because it gives you details on what you need to do for the quest. So if you're in the middle of doing a questing, I'd recommend keeping that on. But for the most part, you just turn all this stuff off and you place it wherever you find it convenient. I like having my health bar over the head of my character instead of on the screen. I find it easier to look at and it's a little less for my eyes to move. But yeah, we're just knocking everything out here. You can turn off the auto align for making the quick slots, making it easier to adjust things around here if you need that. We've just about got this finished up here. We've turned off custom HP bar, again, just so we can hide everything. This gives us a nice clean approach, but we have these notifications at the top of the screen. These are called alerts, and we're just going to go through here and turn off all of the alerts, literally everything. And if you might want to have one or two things on, like Central Marketplace or maybe friend request or something, the one thing I'm leaving on in here is guild missions, which will pop up in the middle of your screen. All right, so for show hide, we're basically disabling everything in here. I would encourage you to go back and re-enable these as you learn how to play the game. And like Monster HP is very helpful for min-maxing. You know, there's several settings in here that are nice for PvP, but all these things detract from our ability to play the game and have high FPS. So like attack decisions, super armor, and iframes and frontal guards, that's very important to know as well. Other things in here that's really nice is hiding nameplates. This is actually going to be a pretty big performance boost in things like world bosses like Garmoth. So I'd recommend turning off nameplates where you can. Aim assist can be nice, but can throw off a few of your skills. I personally like having it off unless I have a difficult class to play. Some of the older classes, it is kind of nice. Now we're getting into performance here. My personal PC, I like running very high instead of remastered, having high textures on. Basically all the first settings here, we're going to be doing FXAA for anti-aliasing, turning off all the bottom settings, turning on all the top settings here. We're turning off auto frame optimization. This is going to make it where the frames are more stable. We're going to do a better job. Turning off low power mode. This basically makes it where your PC uses less power. It's good for maybe a laptop or if you're trying to save some battery. We're turning off effect opacity. Can make it where it's easier to see things in PvP if you turn it down to like 30-40%, somewhere in that range. Now, camera effects here, this is really big. I just turn all these down to 0. This makes your camera shake like crazy, zoom in, zoom out. This does make the game feel more immersive if you want to tinker with these settings. And camera vision range is your field of view. I set that about 70 for a little bit more immersive feeling, but a lot of people who like playing the game like setting it all the way up to 100. Now, we're getting into some of the other performance settings here. Effect optimization, this means how many effects are on screen at a time. I like setting this to right above the S in effects. We're also going through here and making sure our walker progress is off. We're going to hide certain NPCs. This makes it where there's less things rendering on our screen in game. And we're going to hide all pets. This is so that when we're at a world boss, we're not rendering 200, 400 pets. Other thing to turn on is mouse to move. This allows you to pull out your cursor and move your character with that. It has very many in-game applications. There are several settings in here that you can turn on for like UI hotkeys for like your maids, butlers, stuff like that. These are all very, very helpful. All right, now that we have the majority of our settings done, we're going to jump in and actually start customizing our quick hotkeys. This is very, very important. We're going to go in here and we're going to do our maids. So this is going to be our storage maids and our marketplace maids, as well as our setting up our tent. The other one that's pretty helpful in here is being able to find anything from your storage. We're going to set that to Alt F. I think new players have this automatically set to Alt F. But yeah, find find items right there, and then find NPCs. Both of these are extremely helpful. And so now that we have these set, we can pull them up whenever we want. You might want to look through there and see if there's any others that you like. All right, we got one more thing in here I forgot to do, and that's basically custom hotkeys. The reason we're doing custom hotkeys here is this allows us to move our hotkeys for our abilities we're putting on a hotbar wherever we want. The other thing we're doing here is we're turning off our chat, our extra chat. The reason this is actually a huge performance hit to your PC, we're turning off all the chats we don't need. I'm turning off the vast majority of them. This is personal preference to some extent. The big thing here is turning off animations, chat scroll animations, and emoji animations. So now that we have this set, we've optimized our chat so we have better FPS. Another thing that people don't realize is the more UI elements you have activated on your screen, the more FPS hit you're going to have. This becomes a very, very, very big problem at the start of the game. So if you turn this off, you could actually gain maybe 5% more FPS just by turning off all these UI settings. All right, another thing we can do is we can edit our escape menu and customize it to everything that we need on a daily basis. This allows us to turn off more of our UI that otherwise we would have to have on. So I find this extremely helpful. So one of the things I like doing is edit UI. I like having my item collection scroll on here, my edit settings. I like having my character menu on here. I like having Central Marketplace on here. I like having Elvia on here. Some people might like having their dice game on here, or their Mel, or their Black Spirit box for the Black Spirit rewards. There's a lot of different things you can put on here. You can put your fairy on here. You have 2 of these menus. I'm just setting the front page for an example here, but this is extremely helpful, and this is what allows you to turn off a lot of your UI elements. Between this and setting your UI hotkeys, this allows you to turn off all these UI elements and not need them. Our next thing we're going to change is some out-of-game settings. This is going to be in the taskbar. You're going to go find Black Desert 64 when the game is running. You're going to go to Properties. You're going to go to Compatibility tab, disable full screen optimizations, and you're going to change high DPI to override high DPI settings, application controlled. This is going to allow the game to run more effectively in your full screen windowed mode. Next, we're going to go to Documents. We're going to go to Black Desert, Game Options, Open in Notepad. When we're in here, we're going to just change tessellation to 0. This is going to turn off tessellation. Tessellation has a weird after effect in game. It makes everything look a little weird. So we're going to turn that off. Next, we're going to go to Escape. This is a personal preference thing, but I like this menu better for the escape menu. And we're going to restart the game, so all of the settings that we've worked on so far will apply. All right, and we're loading back into the game. And as you can see, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison here, that this is a massive difference compared to the default settings in the game. Hopefully this helped you out and you get a little idea of just how big a difference this can really make for your gameplay, FPS-wise, and your immersion in the game. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please check out my Twitch stream. I'll be going live after this video goes live on YouTube, so you can go follow me there or subscribe here on YouTube if you want more of this content. Thanks for watching.